Welcome to Golden Fortune Leo, where destiny meets roar. Well, hello there, radiant souls. Whether you're new here or a proud returning member of this golden-hearted Leo tribe, welcome home. You've just stepped into the digital temple of cosmic truth, fiery wisdom, and unapologetic Leo energy. This isn't just a channel, it's a sanctuary for the bold, the broken but healing, and yes, the chosen ones. If you're a Leo sun, moon, rising, or you've just been blessed, or overwhelmed, by the Leos in your life, you're exactly where you need to be. Let's clear something up right away. You didn't click this video by accident. This isn't one of those oops, autoplay did its thing again situations. No. You were summoned, Leo. Cosmically subpoenaed. There's no algorithm powerful enough to override divine timing. The moment your finger hit play, something in the heavens shifted, and whether you felt a flutter, a fire, or just a weird chill, you were right to pay attention. Because this message, it's not fluff. It's fate. For far too long, you may have felt paused, dimmed, like your light was flickering in the shadows of delay. Doors closed, prayers echoed back unanswered, and you started to wonder if maybe the universe got your order wrong. Let me assure you it didn't. Your delays weren't denials. They were divine preparations. Leo energy isn't mass-produced. You're not built in a factory, you're forged in fire. Every quiet night, every moment you didn't get credit, every time you had to clap for someone else while you were barely holding it together, it mattered. And then, like lightning slicing through the fog, I had what I can only describe as a spiritual wake-up call. No burning bush, but close. I was stirred out of sleep, heart pounding, soul blazing with one clear message: it's time. Now, I don't throw words like that around lightly. As someone who studied astrology for over 2 decades and sat with clients from every walk of life, I've learned to spot the difference between hype and holy. This is holy. We've entered the year of triumph 2025. And guess who's headlining it? You. Yes, you, Leo. Not just because you're dramatic, which, let's be honest, you are, and we love you for it, but because you've been prepared. You've gone through the kind of spiritual bootcamp most wouldn't survive with their crown still intact, and yet, here you are. Crown slightly tilted maybe, but still shining. And here's the kicker: this message isn't generic. It's custom wrapped for the Leo who's been through the fire, stayed gracious in silence, and kept their heart open even when it felt like no one saw them. Well, I see you. Spirit sees you. And that warmth you're feeling in your chest right now? That tingle creeping down your arms? No, it's not your 4th cup of coffee or that weird energy drink from the gas station. That's what we in the psycho-spiritual world call authentic resonance, your soul nodding in agreement. It's the universe saying, Leo, this is your moment. So exhale. You're not crazy. You're not late. You're not forgotten. You are called. And here, on this little corner of the internet called Golden Fortune Leo, we're going to remind you exactly what that calling means. And if you're still unsure, stick around. Because we're just getting started. Now grab your metaphorical mane, take a deep breath, and let's walk boldly into the purpose you were born for. This is Golden Fortune Leo, where divine timing meets fiery purpose. Let me just take a moment and say something straight from the heart. Leo, thank you. Seriously. Thank you for showing up not just to this video, but to your life, day after day, even when the lights were off and the applause was nowhere to be found. Whether you've liked, commented, shared, or simply sat quietly and soaked in the energy here, your presence means everything. This channel, this mission, This divine space we've carved out together, it doesn't work without you. You're not just a viewer. You're a vital part of this cosmic ecosystem. And yes, your roar matters here. Even if it's a whisper some days, even if you've forgotten how to use it, the fact that you're still breathing in this space? That's sacred. That's alignment. Now let's talk about pain. Yep, that thing most people run from like it's a malfunctioning fireworks display. But Leo, you've learned the hard way that pain isn't just some cruel twist of fate. It's divine training. The kind no one signs up for, but every chosen one must pass through. Let me be blunt, your struggles weren't wasted. They were sacred. You're not a victim. You're a vessel. A finely crafted, sometimes emotionally dramatic, but deeply powerful vessel. And no, I'm not saying that to make you feel better, I am saying it because I've studied this pattern across lives, signs, and spiritual traditions. Moses didn't just walk into greatness. Joseph didn't get handed a crown on his first resume. David didn't go from sheep to king overnight. These were souls shaped in the shadows, refined in obscurity, tested in ways that most people couldn't survive. Sound familiar? Esther 4:14 says, "You have been called for such a time as this." And no, that's not just some cute verse you put on a coffee mug. That is a cosmic mandate. You didn't endure everything you've been through just to settle for being average. You didn't climb out of the pit, wipe the dust off your crown, and smile through tears just to blend in. You came here to shift atmospheres. You came here to shake things up in rooms that forgot they needed a little roar. And let's get one thing clear: what you faced? It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. God wasn't mad at you. He was molding you. Every delay, every betrayal, every door that slammed shut, it was chipping away at who you weren't, so the masterpiece of who you are could emerge. As a student of psychology, I've seen this same phenomenon in countless lives. The greatest breakthroughs are almost always born from what first feels like a breakdown. Leo, you were born different. And I mean that in the most flattering, terrifying, cosmic sense of the word. From the sandbox to the boardroom, you always stood out. You felt too loud, too intense, too much. But let me tell you something, they weren't wrong. You are too much. Too much light for small-minded rooms. Too much power for average expectations. Too much heart to ever play small. That too muchness isn't a flaw, it's divine branding. The crown was yours from the beginning. Need proof that the chosen ones rise from the fire? Look at Harriet Tubman. Look at Viktor Frankl. These weren't people who waited for comfort or permission. They moved through darkness with conviction and clarity. They didn't whine their way to greatness, they walked through the fire with faith and flair. Sound familiar? Leos aren't made in safety. They're made in storms. You weren't built for beige living. You're not here to live a muted life. You're here to lead with heart, to blaze new trails, and to remind the world what courage looks like when it's wrapped in warmth and fire. So if you've been asking yourself why it's been so hard, why your path seems uphill while others stroll on flat ground, here's your answer: because you're not them. You were born for something bigger. And in the year of triumph 2025, the stage is finally set for your soul to take the mic. Are you ready? Because heaven is already tuning the lights. And they've saved your spotlight, Leo. Let's talk about your journey for a second, Leo, not the one you post about, not the highlight reel with good lighting and polite captions. I'm talking about the real path. The heartbreaks. The delays. The nights you sat in silence, wondering if the universe had muted your prayers, blocked your number, or was just asleep at the wheel. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Every detour, every painful pivot, every no that stung like rejection was actually redirection. You see, your trials weren't random. They were custom-made. Hand-tailored by a divine force who, let's be honest, makes most corporate CEOs look like toddlers with crayons. God's strategy is that advanced. If your life were a blueprint, it would be one of those ridiculously complex architectural plans that only 5 people on Earth can read and surprise. You're one of them. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. Every betrayal carved out deeper compassion. Every delay trained your spiritual patience. Every closed door was simply the universe saying, not that one I've got something better, just wait. And you, Leo, ever loyal, ever strong, stayed in the game when others would have walked away. You didn't just endure. You evolved. But let me be honest with you, as someone who's worked in this field for decades studying not just natal charts, but human behavior, subconscious wounding, ancestral karma, and yes, even some good old Buddhist detachment, there comes a time when endurance isn't enough. When you've got to stop surviving and start stepping into who you were meant to be. This is that time. Leo, this is your wake-up call. No more hiding behind false modesty. No more shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Your light? It's non-refundable. Your roar? Meant to be heard across timelines. This is not the season to apologize for being too passionate, too powerful, too much. You were never meant to play it safe in the shallow end. You were born to cannonball into the deep, hair wet, heart full, eyes blazing. And let's get one thing straight, faith isn't a passive thing. It's not soft. It's not timid. Faith is fierce. Faith moves. This is your yes moment, not someday, not when you feel ready, not when the stars perfectly align and the birds chirp in your key. Now. The gates are open, and your breakthrough? It's pacing at the edge of your destiny, tail wagging, waiting for you to quit stalling. You want the life you were promised? Then step up or miss the blessing. Now, I've got to say something that might ruffle some feathers, but we're Leos. We don't mind feathers. In fact, we usually wear them. Leadership is not glamorous. It's not golden thrones and applause. It's weighty. It's sacred. And it's hard. Being chosen doesn't mean easy. It means equipped. You don't get an anointing without an assignment. And yours? It's no light load. It's legacy level. Which, of course, is why you were picked. Because heaven knows you've got the spiritual stamina for it. You've already earned your stripes in silence. You've bled behind the scenes, smiled through storms, and lifted others when your own legs were shaking. And now? It's time to claim your crown. Because here's the truth God reveals in silence, He only hands heavy callings to the strong. He only trusts the Leos with the weight of generations. You're not the backup. You're the blueprint. Just like Joshua. Just like Moses. They weren't the safest choice, they were the faithful choice. And so are you. You weren't made to walk away when it gets hard. You were made to walk through it head high, heart grounded, and soul on fire. The very thing that others ran from is what you were designed to carry. And not just carry but conquer. So if you're still wondering why it's been heavy, why it's been intense, why the mountain hasn't moved yet, remember, you weren't built for the valley. You were built to climb. And in the year of triumph 2025, you're not just reaching the top. You're setting up camp there. And when you do, don't forget to look back, not to dwell, but to recognize how far you've come. Because Leo, you weren't just chosen. You chose to keep going. And that makes all the difference. You feel it, don't you? That inner buzz. That strange restlessness wrapped in quiet clarity. Something's shifting not just outside of you, but deep in your bones. And no, it's not the coffee, though if you've had 3 cups today, I'm not judging, we've all been there. It's bigger than that. The spiritual atmosphere is changing, and Leo, you're not imagining it. The truth is, you're not late to your purpose. You're not lagging behind while everyone else seems to be sprinting toward success with perfect hair and Pinterest-level confidence. You are right on time. The year of triumph 2025 isn't the finish line, it's your launch pad. It's not the end of your storm, it's the beginning of your surge. You see, spiritual timing doesn't work like Uber. You don't get a little map showing your blessings 3 minutes away. Nope. You get nudges, dreams, a random Leo YouTube video popping up at midnight whispering, "Hey, remember who you are." So here's what I want you to do. Don't just watch this message. Mark it. Write today's date down. Seriously. On a sticky note. In your phone. On your bathroom mirror if you have to. Declare it, I accept the assignment. And no, this isn't superstition. This is what we call spiritual anchoring, a sacred agreement between your conscious mind and your soul's timeline. And if you put it on your fridge, you'll also be reminded every time you reach for a snack. Divine timing and healthy habits. We love to multitask. Now here's the part that trips most people up: obedience. Not the rigid, fear-based kind. I'm talking about spiritual obedience, the kind that flows from trust. The kind that says, okay, I don't see the whole map, but I'll still take the next step. Most of us wait around for clarity like it's going to knock on the door wearing a name tag. But here's the truth I've learned after years of studying astrology, psychology, and Buddhist mindfulness. The step creates the clarity. You don't wait for everything to make sense before you move. You move, and then things start making sense. It's what Moses did. It's what your higher self is screaming from the background, just go already. We've got this. So go. And while you're at it, stop dimming your light. Leo, you're spiritual royalty, so why are you walking like you're waiting for permission? Why are you playing small, talking soft, and pretending like you're just one of the crowd? I hate to break it to you, but you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to blaze through. Walk like someone who knows their ancestors prayed for this moment. Carry yourself like someone who remembers they were built for boldness. And please, for the love of everything celestial, retire the fake humility. That whole "oh, I'm not that special" thing. It's tired. It's so last season. You're not arrogant for owning your light. You're honest. Now let's really get into it, that old lie you've been carrying. The one that says you're just ordinary. That your story doesn't matter. Yeah, toss that in the spiritual recycling bin. The enemy's greatest strategy was to convince royalty that they were background characters. But God doesn't waste divine assignments on just average people. And you, Leo? You've always been the main character. You're not here to decorate the room. You're here to lead it. Still not convinced? Let's look at some receipts. History is filled with souls who turned tragedy into triumph, people who fell down 7 times and got up 8, wearing better shoes and a stronger smile each time. And what did they have in common? They didn't stay in the valley. And neither will you. That thing that broke you? It built something deeper. That season that made you question everything? It refined you into someone who can handle anything. Your setbacks were never the end of the story. They were setups for the next chapter. And believe me, this next chapter, it's going to read like destiny with a plot twist of glory. So yes, something is shifting. The air is different. The path ahead is opening. And Leo, you are exactly where you need to be. All that's left now is to step in. Let me tell you something most people get backwards. Leo age is not a weakness. It's not a countdown or a warning sign. It's your superpower. In fact, real wisdom isn't some accidental side effect of getting older, it's the harvest. It's what happens when life has taken you through storms, spun you around a few times, and you've still managed to come out of it with your spirit intact and your crown only slightly crooked. So if you're sitting there thinking, maybe I missed my moment, let me stop you right there. You're not late. You're not forgotten. You're legendary. And legends? They don't arrive early. They show up exactly when the world needs them most. And guess what? That moment is now. Your voice, your perspective, your battle scars, they're not just decoration. They are medicine. You've lived. You've seen. You've cried and still shown up with your heart open. You've got insights that no algorithm, no shortcut, and no 25-year-old TikTok guru can replicate. In this very moment, someone out there is waiting on a breakthrough that's directly tied to your obedience. I know that sounds intense, and it should. Because staying silent now? It's not humility, it's a missed assignment. And you didn't come all this way, through all those chapters, to mute yourself in the finale. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Within the next 7 days, and I mean this literally, there is going to be a shift. A realignment. A divine appointment that can only connect if you're moving in faith. This isn't that fluffy law of attraction stuff where you hope and sit back. This is spiritual traction. You move, and heaven moves with you. So take the walk, make the call. Write the post. Say the prayer. Burn the old journal. Paint the wall. Whatever your soul's been nudging you to do, now is the time. Because the door? It's open. You're standing in what we call your Kairos moment, a sacred intersection between divine timing and human readiness. This isn't about perfection. The universe doesn't need you to be flawless, it just needs your yes. And Leo, if there's any sign that knows how to show up boldly with their chest out and their spirit loud, it's you. So I'll say this one last time, go be the lion you are. The plan is already written. The calling has already been placed. And the year of triumph 2025? It's not reserved for those who have it all figured out. It's reserved for those who are finally ready to trust what they've always known in their bones. You've got the fire. You've got the wisdom. You've got the heart. And now, you've got the moment. So enjoy life while you're at it. And I mean really enjoy it. Dance barefoot in your kitchen. Laugh so hard you snort. Say yes to that trip, that date, that wild dream that won't leave you alone. Eat the chocolate. Hug your people. And for heaven's sake, stop apologizing for taking up space. You're not too much, you're exactly what the world needs more of. And hey, if you felt seen today, if something resonated, made you smile, or even made you tear up a little, I'd be honored if you'd show some love in return. Like the video. Share it with a fellow Leo or someone who needs a cosmic nudge. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel Golden Fortune Leo, where your story, your strength, and your stardust always have a home. Because here, we don't just talk astrology, we talk destiny. And Leo, yours has only just begun.